excellent condition. I need to change this. Edit. Alright. Copy link. I'm going to put the group in this. All right. Oh, Daniel, I'm not. I'm in Sim. I just wanted to see, you can see here. These, I'll say Sim. I set it up earlier in Sim, and then I was like, oh, we could do a live tonight, so I need to have it up anyway in case people want to kind of go over some setups or how it works or anything like that. Whatever. Hey. Well, maybe not a few days. Probably just tomorrow. Thursday might be amazing. And tomorrow could be good too. You don't know. It's just I don't take a chance on. But that's the thing, Muhammad, you can't be in a rush. With these kind of things, like, people that are always wanting to, like, over-leverage themselves and rush typically are the ones that lose most of their money very quickly. So you just have to look at this as a long-term thing. Slow and steady wins the race, right? But I know. I understand the eagerness to want to start. So you guys can hear me, right? Jeremy. Yeah, exactly. If you want a little bit of action, just I'm in Sim. You can see how the trades go. But then don't have any FOMO. Don't be like, oh, well, I would have made this much. You know, it is what it is. Either you decide to trade in Sim for the next 23 hours or... Oh, I should turn my foot massager on. Or not trade at all, or trade in your live account. Whatever you decide to do, that's on you. Just be confident and feel good in your decision. I wonder what the other modes are. So I bought a foot massager that I saw on, like, it was on TikTok, but it's an Amazon product. Nicole! Okay, good. Glad you can hear me. And I just got it today. I was supposed to get it yesterday. And I went snowboarding this weekend, so I was like, oh, this is going to feel so good. And then it was delayed from from Monday until today, but I got it. So I'm happy. Hey, Ford. Hey. All right, so there's 27 of you, 29 of you. No, is it normal for Paul to speak so much? Oh, my God. Right? No, so Nicole, normally he speaks once a month. Typically they do the FOMC once a month. But certain other things have been happening. What was he speaking on a few weeks ago? I don't even know. And then the stuff, obviously, with the stimulus has been big. And before, when Pelosi would speak a lot, that would also mess things up. So, and like when you think about our back testing, though, that includes all of these days. That includes Fridays. That includes Thursdays when Powell speak once a month. So, you know, if you want to take your chances, you definitely can. But I just don't feel like the stress is necessary. So I'd rather just take the day off. And typically, Powell speaks on Thursdays. I don't know why lately. Sometimes it's been on Wednesdays. That caught me off guard last time, too. I was like, what? He's speaking today? Somebody in my other room had let me know, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know. But, so, you guys can see if you hear this weird noise in the background, it's my foot massager, so just FYI. It does like this compression. It feels really good. Anyway, I hope you guys can all see my screen. I think you can, because I can see it. So let me know what you want to look at, what you want to go over. YM has been pretty solid. I'm using the YM day and night times. So there's a set time frame for night and then a set time frame for day. So and this is bold trend. I can look at scalper too. If somebody wants me to pull up scalper, I can answer questions with that, and we can also look at scalper setup. So if you can see up here, I have 2 strategies for YM, because one is for the day and one is for the evening. If I'm up late enough, well, actually no, because I think it goes to like 2:30 in the morning. But I typically don't turn my morning one on until I go to bed. I'm like, okay, just because I don't want to take up extra storage or whatever it is on my computer. So I usually just have gold, NQ, and YM running. NQ I run on my bigger account. And then typically micro gold or gold and YM I run on my smaller account. Gold's been doing well. Oil's been doing really well this week. I have not run oil this week. NQ wasn't bad today. So this is NQ. The first trade was a losing trade here. And then it had obviously the large winning trade. It didn't work out to be as big if you let it turn around on its own. But at one point it was up. Did it go up to 13,000? Yeah, almost 300. So this was a $3,000 trade if you would have taken it somewhere near the top. And then it had a small loss here. And then it had one at the end of the day too. But yeah, I like the day and the night settings too. I feel like YM was really good to us on all hours. But then we found the day and the night settings and I just feel like they're better. So that's what I'm using. The thing that I find hard is like, I see people like Steven or Connor who just trade NQ and that's all they trade and they're doing really, really well. And then there's other people that like a little bit more of a variety. Ooh, look at NQ. We might get a short here. So this is what's cool about both scalper or the bull trend is you can see when a trade's about to happen, we have to close under this dotted line or we have to close above the other dotted line if we're going the other direction. So like here, or in this case here. So we'll see what happens. And obviously the candle closes 5 minutes. Oh, I added this indicator. It's called bar timer. So if you want to add it, it counts down how many minutes are left in that bar. So if you go to indicators, this thing right here, and then it's just under B, bar timer. I have that on already. And you don't have to do anything. You just literally click bar timer and press OK or apply. What's the sign for oil? Yeah, that's CL, Clint. Oil, just a reminder, oil and gold are pretty expensive. I can pull it up. I think they're like 2,000 each. You can always go to the NinjaTrader futures contract website. That's what this is. I've been there before. So as soon as I type in NinjaTrader on my internet, this will come up. You guys will see it in a second. Hey, Joe. Joe R. No joke. I have like 4 Joes in this room. All right, so this is the NinjaTrader futures contract margin. I put a column for this on the Bold Trend spreadsheet, but then people were like confused, so I just took it off. Like, people should be aware that it costs something to take the contract. So if you think of a share of a stock, like Apple is $123, it costs you $123 to get one share. But in futures, it's different. Each futures contract has a specific amount, and it typically stays the same all the time, unless for some reason the markets are really volatile. So the mini contracts, so ES, YM, and Q, most times they'll be $500 each, but here we can see that NQ is actually $1,000 per mini, but I feel like they don't have RTY on it. Oh yeah, they do. RTY, ES, where's YM? Where's YM? Anyway, I don't see YM on here, but I'm sure it's $500 too. So that's what it costs for you to take the trade. And it has nothing to do with your profit or loss. It's honestly just what you need to have in your account to take this contract. Obviously, you should have a lot more in your account than this, but just to trade between the open hours of 6 p.m. and 4:45 p.m., you need to have this per contract. And so the micros are always typically a tenth of the amount. So if it's a $500 mini, it's a $50 micro. If it's a $1,000 mini, then it's a $100 micro. So this is a good thing to just look at, but this is where you'll find oil and gold prices. Oh, here's YM. It's down here under the CBOT. It's in a different exchange. Don't worry about it, the exchanges, because NinjaTrader puts all of them in that one CME $12 bundle that you pay for. So you get access to all of these if you really want it. This is where UB is. UB is $1,000. Corn, a lot of these are not traded that often, so they're going to be really illiquid, so it's not that great. Corn is $1,000. So here's gold. Gold is, when you think about futures, at least what I think about, metals, commodities, and indices. So metals would be gold, silver. Silver is like super wild. Silver's $2,500. Gold is $2,000. I could actually pull a silver. Maybe we'll do that tonight. Copper's okay, but it's really illiquid. Like, it doesn't, a lot of people don't trade copper, so you have to be careful there. Oil's down here. Crude oil, CL, $2,000. So yeah, so to trade one of those, you at least have to have $2,000 in your account at all times to take one contract. Thanks, Gil. I wasn't even looking. So we can pull up silver, SI. We could run a strategy analyzer on silver if you guys want to see that. Let's see how, oh, we're definitely going to get this NQ trade in my simulated account here. Why is this line here? Maybe because it's loading the strategy analyzer. This foot massager feels so good. And it automatically turns off. I don't know how long it's for. Maybe like 15 minutes or something. 10 minutes. I had it on before. Feels so good. All right. Come on, strategy analyzer. I swear, NinjaTrader is like the vein of my existence. All right. So how much is left in this candle? So as long as it stays under this green dotted line in the next 2 minutes, then it will take a short and we can watch that together. All right, so here's the strategy analyzer. Gonna hide the sections that don't matter to me. And then we can run silver, and I'll show you kind of how I do it. I'm gonna load gold and just start there, but I'll show you essentially what I would do. All right, so starting at the top, and sometimes going all the way back to January is not the best. All right, so starting at the top, you don't touch any of this. I'm back testing the Bold Trend, ATR. So these are the numbers from gold I just loaded. I'm gonna leave them for now and play with them in a second to see if it should be higher or lower. Quantity 1, stop loss, it's probably gonna need to be less than that. Silver, and that's another thing, it's like you have to think about, would you best focus on 1 and 2 markets at the most? Yeah, Angelo, I think that's best. I think people that are just doing, like, say NQ and then maybe micro gold is the best scenario, but you know, people do whatever they want. But then you think about YM, and YM is super reliable and great. And then sometimes oil's like killing it. Like oil was up $1,800 today for it's the TP2 settings for 2 contracts. So if you only had one, it'd be like 900. But yeah. So it's harder to kind of decide, but certain days are best for others. Like on Friday, I'm never running any indices, so I could run gold and oil on Fridays. How do you save the settings? You go to template. It's exactly as you would when you're in the strategies. So you go to template, just go to save, name it something, and push save, and then it will be here. And then you can just load it the next time. So I'm just going to run this. I'm not going to have any trailing properties. So if you have a product...
Order submitted.
All right, so we have NQ on here. I'm going to minimize this for a second. So you can see I'm in a trade, but I don't have my chart trader on. You can see up here, unrealized profit. Oh, no, you can't really see that because it's kind of far up. I'm going to move it down. Oh, yeah, you can. You guys were just on a little bit of a delay. So anyway, you can see that you're in a trade, but then people are like, well, where's my stop loss and where's my take profit? So that's when you have to realize you need to turn your chart trader on. So you need to go to this little symbol in the middle of the top of your chart that says chart trader. You can do hidden or you can show it. Either way, it will show you your P&L and where your stop loss and your take profit is. So for NQ, I don't have a take profit. It's just a stop loss. So you can see this kind of peachy line says 1 buy stop. That's my stop loss. This is my entry. I am short 1 contract of the NQ at this 13,117. So let it do its thing. Not really looking for anything there. So back to pulling silver on this, you would fill out these sections as kind of just a starting point, like where do you think you might want to be. I always do all of the hours at first and then narrow it down after that. I don't think it's going to be, some just don't show in here, which is annoying. So I might just have to type it in. I'm assuming it's 4, like, so SI is silver. 0421. Let's see. Invalid instrument. What did that? Maybe it's on the date. I'm sorry, I have the hiccups. SI. You could do it this way too. Silver futures. They have a micro too. It's SIL. Oh, okay. It's on 521. That's probably why. All right, so I'm just going to run it here with these random settings that I have for gold. They're pretty similar products, but... All right, so I just ran that, and you can see my profit is $5,000 since January, 61% win rate, drawdown of 6,000, so I don't like that. And then you can see here the largest losing trade is 775. So that means I need to work, at least for me, that means I need to work on my stop loss because it's too high. I don't know, consecutive. It only had 2 consecutive losing trades, which isn't bad. So this is what I was saying before about kind of understanding your product. And this is why if you don't know futures very well or you don't know the product specifically, you shouldn't just jump into any kind of trade or the product itself, because you need to understand it a little more before you just say, okay, I'm going to trade it. So gold, every tick, like every movement that it makes is $10. So on the micro side, it's $1. Again, going back to that 10th value that I was talking about before. And silver is $25 a tick. So it's 2.5 times as much as gold. So obviously you would want to have a smaller stop loss than you did for gold, because for gold it was 31. So I'm going to make that 15 and kind of see what happens here with my results. All right, so we're still kind of, we only lost $800 here for the total profit. It was 5,000 before, and now the drawdown's 3,000. So that's much better. Losing trade per per contract is $375. I'm okay with that risk. Again, you could do silver and it would be a tenth of this. I mean, micro silver, which is SIL. Do tons of people play the moving average? That's why NQ jumps so fast. Yeah, I think. But NQ just jumps that fast all the time. Oh, hi Jacob. I miss you. I hope your new job is going well. Danny, this is my third algo. Yeah, so the one that I'm showing here is the third one. I could always look at the second one too if anyone from the scalper group has specific questions, but this is the third one. So, and I could even, so now at this point, okay, so there's a $3,000 drawdown, right? Let's look at the time of the day. So I'm going to analysis under the top drop down. I'm going to change exit time to entry time because I want to know what happened the day that we entered. Look at these hours of the day. That is gross. That's really gross. Let's see, day of the week. So it's not good. Oh, it's really good on Tuesdays. Look at silver on Tuesdays. Wednesday and Thursday are not good. It probably seems a lot quieter because my foot massager turned off. So what time is this? 8 p.m. $4,500 just at 8 p.m. Yay, Jacob. Would you say is the best time range to use for strategy analysis? I think 6 weeks, Nicole. 4 to 6 weeks is fine. Going too far back with this, you know, NinjaTrader in general is not the best platform. Their data sucks, like their past historical data. I don't trust it that much. Like I trust it as far as I can see it. So if I was in those trades last week, I pull it up and I can compare and contrast and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's valid, then I'm believing it. But I can't remember what happened like the first week of January. So it's hard to totally believe it sometimes. So I could like tighten this up to February. Sometimes February and March will look great and then January looks like crap. And we're like, well, why is that? And it may be because the data is off, but you know, we're not totally sure. So this looks kind of gross for silver. I would probably just avoid it, like not trade it, or honestly just trade it for the 8 p.m. hour. Like that's insane. You could just trade it for 1 hour a day. So now I'm going to change my hours to, well, what I could do actually, I'm going to go back to summary and play with these numbers a little bit, see if I can get some better results. So here, this is only 46% profitable trade. So, let's update our break even. So if our stop loss is 15 ticks and that's $375, then I want my break even to also be 15 ticks, maybe even 10 ticks, and then put the offset at 5. Take profit. We can make this bigger. So take profit. Let's make that 50 and see what happens there. Oh, that didn't work out well. Lots of losing trades. Oh, I put a timer on. That's why. Let me take that off. Look, I put a session window. All right, so still not that great. Let me make this 35. This is how I do it. You can optimize by the video that I have pinned. So maybe 25 was better. But I'm at 51% here. I love a high win rate and a low drawdown, obviously. So I'm going to put the time in that maybe 8 to midnight. So 8 p.m. is 20, and then we'll do 0, 0, 0, 0. Let's see what happens there. And this is also on a 10-minute, so I could also try it on like a 5-minute. All right, here we go. We're at 67% now. A $1,500 drawdown. It trades for 4 hours a day, and it made $4,000 the last 2 months. I want to make this bigger. I don't know why. Yeah, Danny, sure thing. So did you have a VPS? Because that's one of like the biggest things I feel like. wonder if I could just make this like 10. This is what I do though. I literally just go through and play with these and like, no, like it looked better like this. All right, so we'll just do that. But I haven't even played. This is typically the area that Zach does for me. Like the periods, the closer to 10. Let's see, it's not that good. It went back to 55%. 62% here. Put this back on 11. And also just playing with, yeah, most of us are running Windows, but you can, and remember, the bigger the multiplier, the less trades it's gonna take. You can use a VPS on your Windows computer. No, that's not good. What's before 14? You can run a VPS on your Windows. That's what I'm doing here. And then it keeps everything to itself, essentially. I'm going to just do February to today, which is the 16th. Yeah, silver's kind of tough. Like, this is 65%, but in the month he only made 1,500. Like, I'm looking for a lot more than that. So, but this is essentially how I do it. Oh, this is NQ Trader. It's horrible. But yeah, Danny, most of us have a VPS just to keep it a little more stable, because I feel like people that aren't using a VPS still will say, okay, there's an issue in the middle of the night or something like that. Silver doesn't look that good. Silver doesn't. Silver needs. I wonder if it needs. All right, this is 70%, $2,000. So it's giving it a bigger stop. So it's a $500 stop, which would be $50 in a micro, and a $2,000 drawdown, which would be $200 in a micro. No. But anyway, this is how I do it. I just honestly sit here and just go through numbers. Let's lower this. So, but yeah, Danny, if you want more information about like the new algo, I can send you an email. Just give me your email address, like shoot it over to me, and I can get you going with more information. How am I running at work and used all my PCS resources and it froze? Yeah. Howard, that makes sense. Yeah, VPS I think is definitely the way to go. So this isn't horrible. I can send this over to Zach and say, play with the settings at the top. Let me know if you find anything better. He probably will. He optimizes really well. Zach, are you on this call? Probably not. He's busy with his family. Hey, can you help optimize silver? All right. Well, one thing I could do is I could just change the hours. Then I could go back to analysis. Look, so 10 and 11 p.m. kind of suck too, so you could just go and honestly just do 1 or 2 hours in the night. $2,500, 82% for the past 6 weeks. Draw down $1,000. It's not that bad. 2 hours a day. You could essentially just do 1 hour a day too, and it would be honestly very similar. Brad, go back to NQ. Is that an H pattern on the 15-minute chart? Yeah. Well, it's been there. I can't change this one, but this is a 5-minute chart. This is an H right here, Brad. Yep. I actually manually took this short this afternoon. Made like $800 because I was mad that I pulled out of that other trade earlier. All right, so you guys want to see something specific? Do you have any questions that I can answer? How to pull something up? Somebody said today, I don't know if you guys know this, if your chart is kind of all over the place and you want to get it like a little more focused or better or whatever, if you push this little F in the top right corner, this will, I guess the F stands for focus, I'm not sure, or something. And then it makes it like this. So yeah, I want more money here. I guess you could do two. You could do two targets. Have one at like 15 and one at 30. Obviously, then you have double the risk. He'll try it on a 5-minute too, maybe. 82%, 4,600, $2,000 drawdown. No, Joe, there's no way to make it take the trade sooner. That would be taking a trade, like, yeah, you could take it sooner if you're on a lower time frame chart. Look, if I put this on a 1-minute chart, like, look, you could take a whole bunch of trades, but why do you want to do that? Then you're going to be having more fees and commissions. This is what we did before. I don't think you were in the group yet, or maybe you just weren't like super active. We had a 1-minute NQ chart and we all got our asses handed to us, and it takes 900 trades. 900 trades a month. Do you know how much that costs in fees? No, you don't want that. The NQ we have right now takes 4 to 5 trades a day. 4 to 5 trades a day. Look, this is the 1-minute chart. So 1 minute will take it sooner, or if you change your multiplier to be lower, so this multiplier is 3.6. Let me show you what will happen if I make it like 1.5. But don't get your ass handed to you, Joe, and come crying to me. So this is 1.5. And this is what happened that one day when we
Order submitted.
We had a really choppy, oh look, so NQ 1 minute just got into this. We had a really choppy Friday, which makes sense because Fridays suck. And so what is this taking? A short or a short? Oh yeah, sorry. This is taking a short. Like the 1 minute or something like this isn't bad on a choppy day, but you can still get your ass handed to you. It's just not safe. So I prefer everything on a 10-minute. Yeah. So that's what we did. So on that Friday, 2 Fridays ago, we were using the 5-minute or whatever. And we're like, oh, everyone's getting our ass handed to us. So we switched to the 1-minute chart, and then we all got our asses handed to us on a 1-minute chart, like on a Monday. And if we would have just stayed on the 5-minute, we would have made like thousands and thousands of dollars. So I'm not trying to take all these trades. Like, look at this. Look at this. Loser, 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 loser. Like, no, I'm not trying to do that. Loser, 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 loser. No. No, thank you. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Oh.
Order filled.
Oh, it's messing up my other one. But 5-minute NQ, I love. Let's look back on that. And you just have to be patient. Like, that's what it's essentially about, because if you look Monday through Thursday, this will give you huge moves. Huge moves. And you don't have to be active. Like, I know a lot of people are like, well, I can't be around my computer. Like, look at this yesterday. So people are like, oh, I got chopped up. 4 a.m., well, even overnight. Overnight, winning trade. 4 a.m., winning trade. Obviously, if you're awake, you can move your stop loss up to take more profit, but you don't have to. 8 a.m. winning trade. And then it had a losing trade here, and it had a losing trade here. Then it had this huge $2,000 winner into the close. How do you change your stop loss from the chart? Oh, sure. Oh, shit. I wish I would have seen that before I got out of that trade. I'm just going to have to get in a trade and show you. So just ignore the first part. So just imagine this is the algo, even though it's not. So.
Order filled.
All right, it's going to look like this, but they're different colors, so try not to be confused. So it look like this. This is your entry. This is your take profit if you have one. This is your stop loss. You're always going to have a stop loss. You're not always going to have a take profit. No, I do break even, Joe. I do break even. Steven and Connor don't do break even Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they do break even on Thursday. I do NQ, no TP, but with the break even Monday through Thursday every week. So this is NQ. So I'm long, NQ, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. I want to move my stop loss. You click it, and once you click it, you have control of it, and you put it where you want it, and then you click it again. So you click it once, move it. Sometimes it gets finicky if you click it on the box like that. Click it once, move it, click it again. Make sense, Howard? But as I was saying in my other video I made today, you cannot put it above the current price. That is not an option. If you want to take profit, then move your take profit down. Or if you don't have a take profit, and I can't get rid of it because it will get rid of both of them, you can put a take profit in here. So if you're trading, let me just stretch this out. So it would look like this. You're trading NQ. You only have a stop loss, but you want to set a take profit here at 13,150 because that's a level you think it's going to get to, whatever, and you want to take profit there. You can right click on the chart and go to, so you have to understand what you're doing. Are you buying or are you selling? You already have a long contract, which means you bought. So to get out of a long, you have to sell. To get out of a sold contract, you have to buy. It's all one for one. It's a swap for a swap. So I'm long, or I bought a contract in the NQ. So to get out, I would need to sell at a limit price. So this would be my sell limit. Then you can move this more if you wanted. So you don't have to place it exactly where you want it. You could just put it on the chart and then move it. But if you're saying, okay, well, I don't have a take profit, but I want to take profit, then you can add it to the chart. Just make sure you close out of everything else when you're done. Because I think if it hits this, then I can try. Put it really close. I think if it hits this, your stop loss is still here for some reason. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, you can also take profit by just pushing close, like this close button.
Order filled.
But if you push this close button, it also disables you from the strategy. If you do close position here, then it does not disable you from the strategy. It just closes you from the position. Brian, you click it once, then drag. Yep, exactly. That moves in order to chart trigger. Yep. What else? Any other questions? What else? Let's see what else is going here. Anything else? Everything's kind of slow. YM, this is gold. Gold had 2 winning trades today. Winning trade yesterday, had a losing trade on Friday. It doesn't trade that much. I have it from midnight to 8 a.m. I like metals overnight, metals and commodities, because I think they're more affected by the Middle East and countries over there like the UAE than they are necessarily by the US. And sometimes there's like big reports for oil, like tomorrow's Wednesday. The oil reports at 10:30 in the morning. If you don't know about that, it's super, super volatile. So I try to avoid stuff like that. Sure thing, Howard. What else? Anything else? But yeah. Is this going to be recorded? Yeah. Yep. It will be on my YouTube. So I can post it in the room, but it will be on my YouTube just as a live stream with today's date, 3/16. So, but yeah. Obviously, if you ever want to manually trade something and it's not during the times that you're in it, like, so this YM trade here took a short this morning at 10:10, but I don't have YM open until 11 a.m. So if you're like, okay, well, I think this looks pretty good, Joe, this is kind of going back to your question, getting in sooner. You could just, if you saw that it was crossing this green line and it was closing below, you could go ahead and take a short if you wanted to manually. I wouldn't do it on the same chart that you could possibly have a trade. If you know you have a while until your strategy is active, then that's fine. But if it's during the same time when the strategy could go off, I wouldn't do that because I wouldn't want to mess that up. Or use a different account. Like sometimes this will go off and I'll be sitting here and I'm like, oh, let me pull up my trade of 8, and I get in the same trade with my trade of 8. So, all right. Well, if there's no other questions or anything else you guys want to see, I can wrap it up and then this will be saved. And yeah. And then we'll be back tomorrow. I have a new zip file. Once I have these boys tested out to help with a swapping issue, a little bit of a swapping issue, sorry, then I will send it to you guys probably sometime tomorrow, probably before you get set up for Thursday. Then hopefully Thursday we have some really big trending day. I would love that. So, all right. Well, it was fun. You're so cute. The platform has to be open to do algos. What does that mean, Ingrid? Oh, this has to be open? What? Okay, so yeah. So just trade somewhere else. Oh, yes, Ingrid, this has to be open all the time. That's why most people use a VPS. Yeah, it has to be open for it to take trades. You're welcome, Nicole. All right, guys, have a good night. This will be posted on YouTube. I'll put a link in the group. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye.